How's it going, everyone? I wanted to have a chat about the idea of being consumed by something. Um, so I'm wondering at the moment about people's energy, motivation, commitment to an issue, and how when that becomes hateful, violent, oppressive, threatening, it makes me wonder about what layers are sitting there when someone decides that I'm going to go and present myself at a location and shout and scream and make demands or express myself through language that really is hateful, um, racist, oppressive. And nobody wants to do that and have someone define it in those terms. So I find myself wondering, I'm in the public domain, so I know that it's an obligation on me to have views, to have opinions, to share my thoughts, to listen to people who have concerns, to form views, to propose policy, to look at solutions. All of that is part of my role, so I don't really get to avoid that. If I was a normal citizen, then I could dip in and out of that world if I wanted to. But as a public representative, it's fair enough for me to be asked. But when I think about the word consumed, right, if someone is consumed by hate, consumed means that something that you feel so strongly about something that it affects everything that you do. And I wonder sometimes if I find myself slipping into overthinking or overemphasizing my thoughts and views about a particular political party, a political issue, a colleague, an opponent, that if I find myself, like if you're waking up in the morning and the first thing that comes to your mind is how you're going to express this strongly held view of yours, in a way that then feeds somehow, releases some dopamine or feeds your vibe about that issue. So if I wake up in the morning and what I'm doing straight away is consuming content that feeds my hate, then that will just embolden it. And then we all know that there's social media and plenty of opportunities nowadays to act on your bias and your prejudice, and you can channel that accordingly. But what I want to talk about is here's what I do when I feel myself being drawn into the being consumed by something. I stop and think, okay, if I'm consumed by something, then is there space in there for compassion? Is there space in there for me to consider the complexity of things? Is there space in there for me to hold on to my values around human rights and social justice? And how then does that influence or impact on the thing that's consuming me? And I think that there are people who are being pulled in to these spaces because they're already angry, already frustrated, already wondering why decisions are being made, and why they are still suffering in their own realities. And there's no doubt that people are out there suffering and struggling. But what I would invite people to do is to say, when you lay these things all alongside each other, come on, if you sit with that and wonder about the people who are telling you that others are the problem for everything and that they must leave and that's the solution for everything, come on, it's more complex than that. So I would invite people to sit with the complexity. I mean, anger is legit. Rage Against the Machine are one of my favorite bands of all time, and one of their lines says, "Your anger is a gift," and that's, yeah, it is. Your anger is a gift, and but your compassion is a tool. So when you can have anger and compassion on the same page, you can have love in the same conversation, because if that's what we're looking to create a society built on love and compassion and rights, then you can't just be spewing hate at a building with human beings inside it and then say, I'm right, and come and stand with me. So I'd really ask people to just sit with yourself and say, am I consumed by something? Is it affecting everything I do? And if so, I wonder sometimes when I'm maybe consumed by my role in politics, I have to stop and go, are my family getting enough of me? If I really want to ground myself in who I want to be and what's important, I look under the roof of my own house, I look across my family and friends, and I think about what am I giving to that, because that's what's important. When am I spending quality time with those people? And am I able to activate my love? Or is everyone I meet having to hear me spew my hate? Because then that's who I become. And it's risky. It's a risky space to be, because they're not the building blocks. I've said it before. Maya Angelou said that hate has caused a lot of problems in the world, but it has never solved one. So I would say check yourself. Anger, frustration, question marking, even having proposals about how things should be is all okay. But if you are expressing and perpetrating hate, and that is in the world of harm, violence, and removing people's dignity and their human rights, then I'm not standing there with you. I really haven't. That's my, it's not a rant, but it's an invitation. Just check yourself. And make sure that you've still got the love and compassion in there, and make sure that the human rights lens is available. Challenge yourself to look through that and then decide, is what I'm doing okay? Is this how we build a better world? Take care, everyone.